All right, we've seen the mock drafts. We know the names, but who are a few surprise prospects that the Cowboys could possibly draft at pick 24 on draft night? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Next week, we will be at the week mark for the 2024 NFL draft. That's crazy. It doesn't even make sense how fast the processes came and went. I feel more prepared than ever. But I wanted to prepare you guys because I think that we've all talked about Tyler Guyton. We've all talked about Amarius Mims. Heck, we've all talked about Jordan Morgan. We've all talked about Graham Barton. Everybody's seen a mock with JPJ on there for the Cowboys. But who are the names that the Cowboys haven't been talked about or linked to? Heck, just as early as last year, everybody thought the Cowboys were going to go Michael Mayer. James Slater had reported it was going to be Dalton Kincaid or Michael Mayer. And the pick was Mozzie Smith. So I got 5 underrated names for the Cowboys at pick 24, like first round curveball. Or is it really a curveball? Because on this video, you heard it here first that the Cowboys may go this way, and for these reasons. Let's talk about it. Number 1, Trey Benson. Now, Foots, why in the world would the Cowboys draft a running back in the first round? 14 touchdowns last year, 900 yards. The contact balance is crazy. Clean footwork, extremely physical, is a tank. I don't think there's any way that Trey Benson would be there at pick 56. I just don't see it happening. I know what mock draft simulators say. I know what this person, that person says. I just don't see Trey Benson being there. If the Cowboys do have a high premium of wanting to run the ball and they run out of first round grades and there is a run on tackles, I think that Trey Benson could be a surprise name where the Cowboys say, listen, I know what you guys have graded, but us as the Cowboys, we want to run the ball and we want a high premium runner there. We want to go to a true two-back system like the Lions were able to do with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Trey Benson could be a sneaky pick at pick 24. Yes, not in the second round, not the third round, pick 24. Number 2, Zack Frasier. Foots, he's a third round pick on my board, second round pick. I get it. Graham Barton is flying up boards. The latest that I've heard is that Jackson Powers-Johnson has a hip injury. There's also other injury concerns with Jackson Powers-Johnson. And honestly, for me, when it comes to the film with Zack Frasier, I just see a very square player. I see a very physical player. He reminds me a lot of Tyler Linderbaum. The Cowboys don't have anything really right now at center. And I don't want to say that Brock Hoffman can't be a guy, but he's an undrafted free agent that you're going to run in there to play against Dexter Lawrence. You're going to run in there to play against Jalen Carter. Could the Cowboys be in a situation where they say, we draft our center early, we don't want to chance him. If he's our guy, we don't want to chance him trying to get to pick 56 because there's a chance that Zack Frasier just may not make it. The NFL needs interior O-line help. I think that Zack Frasier is a sneaky name to watch not in the second round, at pick 24. Number 3, Jerzon Johnny Newton. Now, I do have him rated higher than Byron Murphy, and I like Byron Murphy, but I just say at 308, you shouldn't be able to do some of the things that Johnny Newton's able to do. If you watch the Penn State game, they just couldn't block him. Now, he's more of a 3 than a 1, but can play the 1, and there'll be people saying, Foots, they just drafted Mozzie Smith. We don't draft you tackle well. I get it, but he's a name to keep in mind because if he falls for whatever reason, he's kind of cooled down as the draft process went along. I think that he's a name that you watch and say, the value's too good. D-tackle is a sneaky need. I think that he could come in day one. You could run him and Mozzie out there, and your defensive line is set. It's bigger. I know we love Osa, but Osa isn't stopping me from drafting this guy. Sneaky name to watch, Jerzon Johnny Newton. Number 4, let's get crazy. Jared Verse. First, there's no way Jared Verse will be there. He's the number, blah, 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 at the end. I get it. I understand it. But teams suck at drafting. I get it. I understand it. But when you watch his film, you don't see a guy who completely bends the edge. So if Dallas Turner goes early, there's a run on tackles. You could look up at 24 and he's still there. What if Darius Robinson jumps him? Darius Robinson is actually going to the draft. So what if he jumps Jared Verse. It's interesting, I know, but defensive end is a sneaky need. The way that this guy plays the run, the way that he plays with hands, his block destruction is outstanding. I think that he could come in, learn from DeMarcus Lawrence, and we don't know what Mike Zimmer has planned for Micah Parsons. So bringing in other defensive ends who can do their job and be role players while Micah Parsons could play all over the defense is something to think about. Defensive end is a very sneaky need. If Jared Verse is there, he could be a surprise pick. I know there's people say there's no way that could happen. Never say never in the NFL draft. That's the best thing about it. It's the best reality show. It's the best reality TV ever because all these mock drafts will end up being wrong and you can end up with a guy like Jared Verse. Number 5, Cooper DeJean. It's been documented Mike Zimmer wants smart football players. Mike Zimmer wants interchangeable safeties. Cooper DeJean is not a guy where it's like, oh, positional flex, he can do these things, but he's not good at this. No, he's a good corner. He's a good safety. He's a great corner. He's a great safety. The athleticism is real. He still did do combine workouts, pro day workouts for a small group just to let them know that he was healthy. He did have the leg injury, but to me, he's one of the best. He might be the best tackling DB in the draft. Outside of him and Quinyon Mitchell, as far as like corner DB, back half, best tacklers in the draft. You bring this guy in, he runs your defense. We got to remember who Mike Zimmer had in Minnesota and Harrison Smith. I think that he's that type of athlete, sideline to sideline athlete. And I can't stress this enough. Just because you have good safeties on the roster doesn't mean that you can't upgrade a position. Will McClay will tell you every time it's my job to replace you. Cooper DeJean could come in if he falls and be an upgrade over some of the safeties that we have on this roster. Now we get crazy. If you made it this far in the video, I have a 6th prospect. I wrote down Michael Penix's name. Foots, there's no way the Cowboys could draft a quarterback. Again, this is a surprise video. We just want to have a little fun. What if Mike McCarthy says, hey, what just happened in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers falling and falling and falling? I have a very high grade on Michael Penix. Michael Penix can play football. Extremely accurate, extremely strong arm. Older prospect, but I don't think that's something you knock him for. What if the contract situation with Dak in the front office gets crazy? What if they say, like Trey Lance, we want to have insurance. It would be a hefty price to pay to say that's a hefty insurance price, but if he turns out to be something in preseason and he never plays football, you can flip him. I'm just getting crazy with the ideas, but you never say never. That's all I'm going to say. That's one of my surprise picks. You just never say never. You never know. And that's the beautiful thing about the draft. You guys let me know what you think about this video. More content coming next week. Mock draft coming at you guys next week. Man, we're almost at the finish line, y'all. And the beautiful thing about it is I'll be doing more content breaking down the players that we do pick, and I don't get tired. So that's just how I feel. Just released a video with Voch. We just talked about 5 burning questions when it comes to the draft and the draft philosophy for the Cowboys. So this is going to be a fun time. It's your boy Fuss as always. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you guys for growing with me. I cannot do this without you.